What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. The Sixers lose game 1 to the Knicks. We're here to break it down for you. Let's go.
I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
Welcome in, everybody. It is officially Groundhog's Day again here in the city of Philadelphia. That's Greg Milwakovic. I'm Tom Arnone. This is the HED Radio Sixers post-game show. And here we are again, and we'll get into Joel Embiid and what took place in the second quarter of today's basketball game. But before we get into
a lot took place.
Yeah, a lot took place. Before we just get into Joel Embiid, let's get right into our poll question. And real quick, we were brought to you by Baggio's Bread. Go check them out. Google them, find them out, find out where they're located near you. And listen, go in, use promo code HED Radio, get 10% off. So go check them out. Our poll question is Sixers supporting cast must be a bigger factor in game 2. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, that's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Get it off your chest tonight. Vent with us. Let us know how you feel. Absolutely. I mean, me and Greg were breaking down a little bit before we came on here. And it's really as simple as that second quarter when Joel Embiid went out before the injury, before he got hurt. And we talked about they were outscored 33-12 in the second quarter, which is insane to think about in an NBA game against a New York Knicks team that's good, but they're not that good in my opinion, right? And I'm still going to stand right by that. I'm not going to run from that. But when Joel was out, they were up 9 when he left and down 9 when he came back in. Or at one point, they were down 9. So they made a little bit inroads back, but you're getting outscored 18. If you think about it, it's an 18-point swing when he's on the bench there. So, yes, Paul Reed played well in those minutes. Okay, but we talked about Batum wasn't like the same guy as he was the other night. Rightfully so. We don't expect that nightly. Okay, Buddy Hield, we talked about a goose egg. Cameron Payne only got 2 minutes. So, your bench didn't really go deep. But when you talk about supporting cast, you're talking about Tobias Harris. You're talking about Kelly Oubre. Okay, those guys 3 for 7. All right. Tobias made the first 3 we talked about. Then he missed his next 3 after that, and they hit the Statue of Liberty. Okay, so it's not good enough offensively, right? He found a little bit of like a tiny baby pulse, in the fourth for like a second. I mean, Oubre played 38 minutes. 10 points, and he did have 5 steals. So, you take the good with the bad there, but I need more than 10 points, right? And then, Joel's 8 for 22. I know it's part of your argument, I'm sure. And then Lowry and Maxey were good. Maxey was really good, and Lowry was good for what Kyle Lowry is. But I think when you talk about Batum, Hield, Tobias, Oubre, absolutely, you got to score. We scored 104 points as a basketball team tonight. Right? It's not like we lit the world on fire offensively tonight in any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. So I do believe guys got to be better. But listen, I'll agree because I always think in these games you need other guys. We saw it against the Heat, right? You need somebody else besides Embiid and Maxey. Who's the other guy going to be? Now, Kyle Lowry tried to be that guy for us tonight, right? But you can't ask him to really go back that deep. And then he had 18 points. So, I guess you can sort of make the case he was that guy for us, but then nobody else scored.
Yep.
Right? So when you break down everybody else in their shoot percentage, it is not good. Not good. So that's where you lose tonight's basketball game. So I agree. They got to be better in game 2.
Ultimately, yes. The answer is yes, right? But I'm going to disagree on this, Tommy. And I'm going to go a different way. And I'm going to bank on Josh Hart not shooting the way he did. I'm going to bank on Miles McBride not being smoking hot like he was tonight. Josh Hart was 4 from 8 from 3. Two or three of those were really late in the game when they were close. And Miles McBride, in that second quarter and end of the game was 5 for 7 from 3-point range. The Knicks as a whole were 45.7, so 46% from 3. So I'm going to disagree and bank on them not shooting that well going forward, right? Game 1, in your home court, you kind of expected a little bit of juice, but to get what you got out of Josh Hart isn't going to happen every night, which is why Nick Nurse probably is okay with what shots were being taken and then ultimately made tonight, because you want Josh Hart taking those shots, right? Maybe not as wide open as some of them were, right? Maybe not as in rhythm as some of them were, but I think you're going to live with Josh Hart beating you in a series. You're right. Because Jalen Brunson, you did the job on Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was 8 for 26 for 22 points. That's a job well done, right? You turn him into the volume shooter to get 20 points. He's had 26 shots to get his 22 points. Now you could make that argument for Embiid too, right? Tonight, Embiid wasn't as efficient as he usually is, and he had a lot of shots to get his points. But I think from the Sixers standpoint, while yes, we do need those guys to step up and play better, I'm going to bank on and that the Knicks are not going to shoot as well as they did.
Yeah, and also the fact that, well, I'm not going to bank on this not happening again, but they had 23 offensive rebounds that ended up turning into 26 points. So there's where you lost the game, right? You want to really break it down here. You lost the game because, as a team, you didn't rebound enough on the defense end, because we watched it. We all watched it tonight. Way too many offensive rebounds again. Same old story there. That cannot happen. That cannot happen in game 2, and that cannot continue in the series if the Sixers expect to win. Mr. Rudy Poo says, can we just stop with Tobias playing valuable minutes thing? Please, Nurse needs to do this for me. I hate Elton Brand. Yeah, I mean, appreciate the super chat, brother. I don't, they're going to play him. So, you just hope he doesn't play down the stretch, right? And tonight they sort of had to, but they didn't against Miami. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I hear you. I mean, we're all over Tobias Harris, obviously, for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons. Dan says we need to shut Embiid down. Greg, how do you feel about that?
There's no shot you win the series without him, though. But I think, to your point, and I'm not agreeing with this at all, I understand where Sam's coming from, and I understand where probably a lot of Sixers fans are dealing with another punch to the balls, right? You're feeling good. Joel's coming in. We were pumping our chest on Wednesday, right, Tommy? Like, we were thinking, all right, 5-6 games. I was at 5. You were at 6, right? And then deja vu happened, right? Groundhog Day, as you said, happened. No, I don't think you could shut Embiid down. You absolutely have zero chance without him in a series. In a one-game situation, you can battle, but I don't think you can hold up over a series. But he is, even today, he is compromised on the court. And I think he was a big factor and or lack thereof of the Knicks' heavy offensive rebounding.
You think he was a factor?
Yeah, I think his lack of mobility and his lack of trust in that knee.
In the second half, you're saying?
Especially the second half, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think as much when he was playing. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that at all when he was playing. Right, I thought I really started to see it when he came back.
Right.
I mean, there was still offensive rebounding when he was playing, and I wouldn't even say it was on him. I mean, it's long rebounds, right?
Yeah, no. I'm not saying everything was on him, right? But he normally does a pretty good job of sucking those up.
No, he does. I get it. I just think more like when you're playing a team like this, they crash the boards. They bank off offensive rebounding, and you have to do that as a team.
Yeah.
I think that to compete in games like that, you absolutely have to offensive rebound as a group.
Yeah.
And not stand around and expect, like Joel to come up with every rebound. I think that's almost common. Now in terms of Sand talking about shutting them down, I don't think they're going to shut him down if he's cleared to play. Right? I think a lot of this has to do with trusting it too. Right? Like he said, there was that, what Doris said he talked about a couple weeks back was that, he knows he's going to land on it. He knows it's going to not feel good at times, right? He knows that. So it's about just trusting it. And I think after you feel like you hurt it again, really hurt it, which he obviously didn't really hurt it, which doesn't look like he did, right?
Yeah.
That now you got to trust it again. And it looked like when he came back in, he wasn't really trusting it again.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't have any lift, right? We talked about the other day, Tommy, how he looked like he had lift coming down the stretch of the season.
Well, he had lift in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to get to it. We don't have to go that far back. I mean, he looked like himself in the first quarter. I mean, he had lift enough to jump up and dunk the basketball like that. So he had plenty of lift in the first quarter. I mean, I don't know where the lack of lift comes from unless it's like really re-injured again.
Yeah.
Right. That's the part that doesn't make sense. Steve says Embiid is just simply out of shape again. In most sets, we had 0 shots at offensive rebounds, sucking in wind at the top of the 3-point line. Well, that him sucking wind at the top of the 3-point line. On the defensive side, I mean, how many times is he up by the 3-point line? So that has nothing to do with offensive rebounding. But I come on, Steve. You guys go to this out of shape stuff, and it just makes me laugh. Like, do we know what out of shape is? Like, I'm not defending Joel Embiid tonight, but like, I don't know if we know what out of shape is. We just say guys are out of shape. Like, he's out of shape now. Now he's never been in shape.
Yeah.
Okay. You somehow just get toned just naturally.
Yeah.
Dale said, I don't see them shutting him down in the playoffs unless there's significant Well, yeah, unless he's hurt. Ben says, play Embiid until the wheels fall off. Screw the Olympics and the next team he goes to. Yeah, I sort of agree with that one a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's going to be the kick in the balls, right? The kick in the balls is we shut him down. He proves healthy, then goes wins gold in the Olympics, and we sit here like we're still icing our balls, right? You know what I mean? Like we're still sitting here wondering what if for, again, another year of Joel Embiid in the playoffs. And I'm not throwing it all entirely on him, but when you are the focal point and you are the centerpiece of this team, and you're the common denominator, sadly getting injured every year, it does fall on you at times, right?
Yeah, and Sam says, unless he's hurt, he's clearly hurt. Well, I'm saying if he's cleared, he's not clearly hurt, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm just going off of them saying he got cleared to come back in the game. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, and going off of past history, too, how they treat Joel and his injuries, right? It's almost like they treat him with kid gloves already. So they're not going to risk him injuring us anymore just for a game, right? I think the Sixers have proven that, and that's not necessarily a wrong stance to take when you have so much invested in this guy and so much is on his plate. But if he's cleared to play and he's playing in the game, then the Sixers know that he's good to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, he comes back in that game, they know.
Yeah.
He's good. I mean, doctors were looking at him, obviously. I mean, the guy couldn't move. He had to get helped off the court. So, obviously, everybody was checking in on him. But, they said he was 100%. They said he was cleared for basketball activities. So, I don't know what else that means. So, unless you're just KZ, unless you're just that much of a conspiracy theorist like that like he's rushing through protocols himself and just telling people like, no, I'm playing, and okay, like I'm not gonna have these types of arguments. I'm really we're not in the mood for it tonight as a fan base. And the second thing is, like, there's nobody right or wrong here. If he's cleared to play, he's obviously was 100% to play. Him trusting it, the land on it's a different conversation, KZ. That's not learning how to walk again. Yep. All right, that's learning. That's just trusting that it's going to be sore sometimes. It's going to be sore sometimes. That's what he said he expected. Will says Groundhog's Day, Knicks in 5. I'm not there yet. Are you guys there? Do you guys have a switch in the series? Has it changed for you after one game? I know people do that a lot in series, and I can understand it when you look at Embiid, in the second half. But has it changed that much for you?
Yes, it has for me. Because I also had Sixers in 5, though, right? So I thought this was going to be a pretty easy series for the Sixers, barring Embiid being healthy. I thought the first quarter played out, exactly in my head how I thought the series and the games were going to play out. Whereas if Embiid's healthy, he's going to dominate, right? And then you're going to get your dose of Maxey and Tobias and Kyle Lowry going to hit big shots. That obviously changes. I'm not ready to say the Knicks win the series yet, but I might now be lengthening the series to 6 or 7 games, probably 7 games. But if Joel comes out on Tuesday and is second half Joel, then yeah, I might have to flip. But I'm already changing from 5. Yes.
Yeah, we'll have that conversation Wednesday night.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. We'll know then, right?
We'll know that. I mean, obviously, I'll shift too, right? I had Sixers in 6, so I'm not going to change anything, right? I'm still on pace for that.
You're still good for that.
We talk about. I don't expect them to come out and shoot the lights out like they did. Now, do I expect Brunson to be that bad? No, but maybe so. If we're getting that much up in them like we did, I thought we did a good job defending him. Those other guys made some big shots for them. There was, if you really look back at this game, you can literally look at the point down the stretch where we missed 3 wide open threes and they made 3 threes.
Yep.
You can literally look at that part of the game in the fourth quarter and say, hey, why did the Sixers lose tonight? Well, we had 3 open threes. I know Batum had one. I don't remember everybody else who had them. Okay. But enough guys. 2 other ones. 2 other guys had them. And here you have it. So you missed those 3. They hit 3 in a row. Ball game.
Absolutely, Tommy. And that was a huge stretch. Because that was when we were trying to make our comeback. Because, again, we were outscored 33-12 in the second quarter. Yeah. You get outscored that bad, you got to fight all the way back. And sometimes you lose, you blow your load coming all the way back, and you don't have enough to get back over.
You really do. You really do. And then you don't hit those shots like you did, in the Heat game, and here you are.
Yep.
They're the shots we made in the Heat game. So it's just the tale of 2 nights. I'm not gonna overreact to the first game. I will overreact if Joel is not close to himself. Sure.
Correct. Yep.
Right now, I'm still going to take the Sixers in 6. I think they win Tuesday night, and we'll take it from there. But it's so many unknowns because of him.
Yes.
Which just sucks that we continue to have this conversation year in, year out. Like I'm at the point now, you put the hypothetical gun to my head, Greg. I just get back as much as I can get back.
We're close to there. We're close, right?
We're close.
And you're right. Yep.
We're 3 losses away.
Yeah.
3 losses away in this series, and we're having that conversation, or we're just him going down again, which could very well happen too.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame because you can't have nice things. And the dunk, right, that off the backboard to yourself,
what's an awesome play
that he dunked on all New York with. Okay, it's the story of this whole process.
Yeah.
It's, oh my God, how did he do that? Oh my God, he's down.
Now he's dead.
Yeah. It's the story of the entire process. And it's a guy that's, he's a son to me.
Yeah.
As he is to a lot of people because he's that good.
It's so true. It's so true. And the other side of it too is, not sure how many of the fam was paying attention to the Phillies at that point too, but Nicky C was having the game of his life at the time. Right? As Joel's lying on the floor dead, Nicky C's hitting triples and 3 for 3.
Yeah. Yeah, KZ, it's one game, KZ, though. Like, they struggled heavily when he's on the bench. Yeah, that's pretty much one of the deciding factors of today, or one of the main keys on why they lost, right? But, that's one game, right? The bench has been better than this.
Yeah.
And then Bill says, from an outsider, after watching Sixers Heat play, I seen a team get lucky that Butler got hurt. And now the night Brunson sucked. And the Knicks only shot 38%, still 1 plus Embiid now limping. Well, they didn't necessarily shoot 38%, Bill, because if you go look at how they shot 45% from 3, might change your opinion on the 39% from the field. Because they shot 39% from the field and 46% from three. So that's or 45%. So that's lethal.
and in the modern NBA, that's better.
Yeah. It just is. And they had 23 offensive rebounds. Chris says game 2 is a must. I don't. It's not really a must per se because you're on the road, right? But you would like to leave with a split. You feel a lot better coming back home, especially with a few more days off, and days off and off the leg can definitely help us. And we're looking for any help we can get.
For sure.
But I don't know if I'm totally at must win, as it's pretty close to one.
It's close though, yeah. It's a real nice to have, right?
Yeah.
Be really nice if we could have it, but yeah, I'm kind of there.
Yeah, me too. MC Sports said Brunson hasn't had that bad a game in a while. Credit to their defense. Yeah, they were all over them. They were definitely all over them.
And that was one of the things going into the series that I thought.
So my argument, sorry, Greg, my argument wasn't that it was 39% to 38%. My argument was they shot 46% from three, and that's where the difference in the game was in 23 offensive rebounds.
Right.
Not as much as their percentage from their field goal percentage as a total, as a whole. I mean, look how many threes they shot.
Yeah, and I thought the length of especially Kelly Oubre and Nick Batum, right? I thought those guys would be able to disrupt Brunson kind of the way that they did in game 1.
Yeah.
Right? Now, no, I think the Knicks, Bill wants to throw the lucky factor out there. I think the Knicks feel really lucky right now that, they shot 46%, 45% from three, and Joel Embiid got hurt and drastically limited him in the second half. Because I thought Kelly Oubre did a fantastic job on Kyle Lowry and even anybody when they went to that little zone too. He was the high man in the zone, and he was just a pest.
He really was.
And I thought he played it really, really well.
No, you're right. He really was. I mean, we talked about this. We thought our perimeter D could be better. And it was, again, but we got to rebound the basketball Tuesday night. It's as simple as that. So Tuesday night's game 2, everybody. Tuesday night's game 2. We'll obviously be back on Wednesday. And then I got to go do NFL Talk on A2D at 10:15. So, and not even less than a half an hour. I'll be back on the saddle again for everybody here. That will be specifically just on YouTube. So if you're over there, stay tuned for it. Greg, any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Get the big fellow, get some shots in. Not actually shots, but like medical shots.
Yeah.
We need the big fellow.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what we hear over the next 24 hours.
Agreed.
I really am. Or even tonight.
Good thing though is it's not a travel day, right? And I think you mentioned this on Wednesday. It's not a travel day, and even if so, it's no plane, right? It's just a train ride. So I think that does wonders for his knee and not having to swell up by being in the up in air and stuff like that. So hoping that we get some good news over the next 24 hours.
Yeah, just like a tweak.
Yeah.
We had the other one, right, at the end of the year. Did we
Yeah.
not? We had the other one at the end of the year where he tweaked it. Now, this one seemed a little worse. But I don't know. And maybe he's not getting a lift, Greg. We'll leave it with this. Maybe he's not getting a lift because he doesn't trust to get the lift.
Possible, yeah.
Right? But
Big
then
part
part
of
of you doesn't even want him to play. But at 50%, he's better than half the league.
Yeah.
So you almost need him out there, right? And so it's just like you're in this catch-22 with it.
All the time with him. All the time with him.
You are. And like again, if they don't get over their hump this year, I'm open for business in a big way.
For
because
sure.
you're still going to get a king's ransom back.
For sure.
You still will. Somebody will, somebody always comes calling.
Yep.
There's always somebody out there.
For sure.
Yeah, everybody out there, thanks for joining us. It's been the A2D Radio Sixers post-game show. And we'll talk to everybody. We won't talk to everybody Tuesday night, but we will talk to everybody, me and Greg, Wednesday night. And we'll dissect where we stand. And then game 3 is Friday, right? Friday. So then they get that 3 days off.
Yep.
On Wednesday, Thursday. Well, they get the 2. You know what I mean by 3. Like
yep.
an extra day built in. Extra day built in. Because when we play, we play Tuesday or Monday?
Monday.
We play Monday, right? Yeah.
Monday night.
Monday
The
night.
22nd.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking it was Tuesday for a second in my head. Yeah, so we get that third day off. Yep, exactly. All right, everybody. We appreciate you. Hit the like, subscribe, follow on your way out, and turn your notifications on. NFL Talk on A2D will be up at 10:15. So for Greg Moaklick, I'm Tom Arnone. We love you. We appreciate you. Go Sixers. We out.
Let's go.